Rama 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 Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanamastu. We should be thankful to Bhagwan for this specific blessing that we are able to be here, that we have gathered to sing His powerful name right in the presence of His Murti, a very powerful shrine. Oftentimes, Bhagwan had reiterated the glory of the name, how the Nama could change everything for us. Where there is faith, there is no fate. This is what he said. Our life, as we see, is already a finished movie. Whether people agree or not, it is a fact. This you would come to know only at a higher level of evolution, that everything, every detail of everybody's life is predetermined, and it's based upon the past karmas. This is what we call destiny, the fate. As you watch a movie on the screen, you know very well if there is something disagreeable in a certain portion of the movie, say a dialogue, spoken by the hero, you think it's quite out of tune with his character. You cannot just put your finger and say, hey, stop it. It doesn't become you. The movie goes on, no matter what you have to say about it. Like this, the life, with all its details, even as we were born out of the womb of our mother, we come with a blueprint of our life. This is what we call fate. But there is only one element, the saving grace, the one relief in life that could change the course of the grace of God. And to invoke the grace of God, you have to make Him happy. You have to do some tapas. And to make God happy, Yogi Ji said, is to chant His name. Bhagwan had also said again and again, not a single nama goes waste. Now today we shall see one or two or three incidents where how the nama comes to our help, how it came to the help of the devotees when they were in certain situations. This is what we have been going through day after day after day, the leelas from the Kripa Samudram, from the ocean of grace of Bhagwan. No matter how worldly these leelas look, the incidents, the experiences of the devotees, the force behind this leela is far above that. And every time the grace comes to our help, comes to protect us, it makes us that much closer to God, which means a certain transformation, and this transformation is the highest miracle that could happen in one's life. Hadn't Bhagwan said, you keep on chanting the name, then you don't even have to pray separately. The nama will do the needful. Here is an experience of Ratna Jyoti from Chennai, a very simple incident. She was coming to have darshan of Bhagwan Shilamurti. After so much longing, she could come out with her husband, and they boarded the bus to Tiruvannamalai. They found the bus very crowded, and she was standing. She didn't mind, though of course she had some difficulty with her leg, with her knee. At that time, she was not feeling the pain. She was ready to stand all through the journey because she longed to come to the ashram. But then she saw, when she was standing, a four-seater was occupied only by 3 people, and there was room enough for the 4th one. So she requested one lady there seated to give some space for her also to sit. And the lady got angry. She said, only 3 people can sit here comfortably. Why do you want to squeeze into this? There is no space for you. And she said it very sternly and looked away. Ratna Jyoti said, okay, Bhagwan, this is you. I'm prepared to stand. Nothing matters as long as I could reach you. I could come to the ashram. She got reconciled, and then she started to chant the name, not for getting seat or anything. It is the force of habit for her. And it's a very delightful habit. She started Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jai Gurayat, and she was thinking it's a great opportunity. This travel always affords these opportunities for chanting the name. And within minutes, that lady got up and said she had an attack of conscience. She got up and said, please come and sit here. You have to go up to Tiruvannamalai. How long you would stand? Please come and sit. She said, no, you please sit comfortably. It doesn't matter if I stand. And then that lady, she took great pains to persuade our Ratna Jyoti, no Amma, come and sit. Please come and sit. Because it's a long journey, there is enough room. Just see how it gives a change of attitude. Ratna Jyoti did not particularly pray for anything. She was very happy chanting the name for the simple reason that it made her happy. But it transformed somebody nearby. It gave them the generosity for accommodation, to accommodate someone who was standing, who was suffering. So how could you dismiss the whole incident as something worldly? Nama not only does the needful, it puts ideas, good ideas, lofty ideas in the minds of people. Nama is a conscious entity. Nama is none other than Nami himself. All-pervasive, all-knowing, all-powerful entity. So she was very, very happy. That proved once again that you don't have to pray separately, that you just keep chanting the name and Nama will do the rest. Whatever you need, Nama will definitely do. It may not give you what you want. Now this reminds me of another incident, of course, I spoke about some time ago. People might have listened to it or not. It would be very fitting here to recall that. A mother started from Coimbatore with her son. After much persuasion on her part, the son agreed to come to Tiruvannamalai to have darshan of her guru, Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. It took some persuasion, yes. Her son said, Ma, if you want, you go. Why do you compel me or anybody? I have no faith in these people. I don't care particularly. You go if you want. She said, no, you must come and meet him. It will do a lot of good for you. You are in need of blessings. Come with me, you see for yourself how powerful he is, how great he is, how merciful he is. Come. She forced him to come with her. And they had to shift, they had to change the bus at E Road, from Coimbatore to E Road. At E Road, the bus was particularly crowded. So crowded, with great difficulty they had to board the bus. And soon after they got inside, they were pushed and pushed to the middle of the bus. And there was no room even to breathe properly. There was no breathing space, literally. The son was even more irritated now. He challenged his mother. Ma, what did you say? He's a very powerful man. And these blessings are needed by us. Now see what has happened. He can't even give you a seat to sit comfortably. See how we are suffering? What kind of guru you have? And the way he spoke hurt her so much, she resorted to the name. She said, it's okay. This is no time for argument. So she started to chant the name, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Before the bus started, it was still loading more and more people inside, and that's how they got to the middle of the bus. Now, there was no way they could get down. Nor could they keep standing because it was too crowded. And the breathing was getting more and more difficult. The only way out was his name. She started chanting. Within minutes, before the bus started, 2 people in front of her, the seat very next, close to her, they were talking among themselves. One was saying to the other, look, it seems we have got into the wrong bus. This is going to Tiruvannamalai. This is what I heard somebody say. So we have to get on before the bus starts. Immediately, they made way to the front. The seat became vacant, and Vijaya Prabha, the mother, could sit comfortably. He called her son, and both of them, only those 2. Yogi Ramsuratkumar's devotee, who chanted his name, they got the seat. Immediately, within minutes of the challenge from her son, Vijaya Prabha, to her great delight, found the seats, and she looked at her son rather proudly. Just see, what did you say? And see what has happened. This is Yogi Ramsuratkumar. So you see, there is a difference. Before chanting the name, it was different. After chanting, it became different. Those 2 people also benefited. They came to find out that they were in the wrong bus, so they benefited by getting down. And these people benefited by getting the seats. So how do you explain? It would have been very different had they not chanted the name. So chanting the name is making God happy. And making God happy is making ourselves happy. I'm putting it in the reverse, but I'm sure the truth of the statement is self-explanatory. Now, let us shift to another person. Even small grace, if we can call grace, if we can measure grace as small or big, it is grace nonetheless, and it helps. See, there is Poonkuzhali, who lives in Tiruvannamalai. She had a problem with her teeth and she was suffering already, but then she felt compelled to come to the ashram, walk all the way from Kumarakovil Street to Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ashram, because she very much wanted to be here to chant the name in front of Bhagwan, Bhagwan's Shilamurti. She comes whenever it's possible for her, which is not infrequent. So she was walking, laboring on the street, thinking that how nice if some vehicle could carry her over to the ashram. Within minutes, of course she was chanting the name while walking, and within minutes a car stopped near her, and the driver was well known to her. It's a family friend's car, and the driver was saying, "Amma, you are walking? I have some work up to Ramanashram. They have given me some work. So I can take you and drop you to the ashram, at the ashram where you're going. Please, come inside. So you can imagine, she became so happy with Bhagwan's Nama. She was happy because Bhagwan was helping her. Not happy because the car stopped. She would not have boarded the car, any car for that matter. It happened to be a family friend's car, and she could recognize the driver. She knew the driver very well. See how Bhagwan helps, very practical help. It may be a small help, but at that moment, she was feeling the pain, she was feeling very tired. There was tiredness both in the body and the mind. It was different before she started. It was different after she chanted the name. Now here is just one more incident, which is more serious. A lady and her husband, very decent family, decent people, and the lady would save every paisa the husband earned and was running the family successfully without borrowing, without taking a loan from outside. They were devotees, not of Yogi Ramsuratkumar, but they were leading a virtuous life as far as they could observe. One day, a well-known friend wanted her signature as surety for taking a loan from a bank. And this lady, very innocent, she did not even read the paper properly. She thought she was only helping a friend, and she signed it. Until then, the life was running very smoothly. There was no trouble at all. They managed life very well within the income they were getting. And there was peace. Now, after her signing, of course, I think after some time, the man was unable to pay back the loan, and the people who gave the loan were after him. Now, when the time became longer and there was no way they could get back the money from that man, they came to her doorstep and they demanded ruthlessly. They said, "You have signed the surety. You are responsible. Do you know what it means? When he is not able to pay back, you have to do the paying. We want money." She said, "No, I do not know what is involved. I simply signed. I thought I was helping him. I didn't know the meaning of all this." They laughed and said, "What does it matter whether you know it or not? We want our money. You have signed, your signature is here. So you have given the guarantee. Now you pay back. We want our money." She didn't know what to do. It was a large sum of money, and there was no way they could pay back. And then you see those people, these ruthless people, they went to the court. She and her husband had to spend a lot of money, and they had to go to the court every few days, and they were suffering a lot for no fault of theirs. At one point, it was too much for both husband and wife. They even thought of suicide. In fact, they had kept the poison and they were going to consume it. But suddenly, some good deed, past good deed of hers, some punya as we call it, a thought came to her, the picture of her children came before her, and then she for a minute stopped to think, what would happen if both of us were gone? How the children would suffer. It would be worse than what we are suffering now. How can we leave the children like this to suffer? And that changed her mind. But then nothing else changed. They continued to suffer. And finally, the day came, they got a warning that they would be arrested. So what people advised her, her lawyer advised her to appeal for the bail. So immediately she applied for the bail, and then the bail wouldn't come through. The judge there in Vellore, he would not grant it for her. So again she was suffering, and she was so scared that she would be arrested. At that time, again she was contemplating what to do, how to get out of this fire. On that particular day, there was an invitation from Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ashram, and as soon as she saw what it was, she saw Bhagwan's picture with both his hands raised in benediction. She was very impressed with the picture, and then she felt the ashram is very near, so let me go and see. And that is how she came to the ashram. And when she entered, she saw the Nama Chanting going on. She was very impressed, and she went near Bhagwan's Shila Murti and started to cry. She was unable to contain herself anymore. Something melted in her heart, and then she cried and cried her heart out to Bhagwan, saying, look, how I am in a fix. Please save me from this. She prayed nicely, and then she understood how the Nama could help. And so she vowed to herself in front of Bhagwan that she would keep on chanting his name all through the day. After all, it was going to happen only the next day, so she had one more day, and she was chanting the name all through the day. The next day morning, she had a phone call from a lawyer. She was so scared, she didn't want to reach out at all. But finally, with trembling hands and heart, when she lifted the phone, the lawyer from the other side said, Ma, congratulations, the bail has been granted. She was beside herself with joy. She was absolutely overwhelmed, and she knew it was because of the name she was chanting. The lady said that she had been praying to so many gods well known to her until then. Nothing at all happened. But just one day of chanting this name, help came so easily and so fast. Her words. And then she understood the implications. She began to chant again and again and again to get out of the whole thing. And finally it came to pass. The lawyer said, the judge who refused to grant her the bail, he suddenly fell sick and he was unable to attend. He went on a long leave, and a new judge took over. He studied the case and he found her innocent. And so the whole case was dismissed. Just see how everything changes dramatically when you chant the name and invoke the grace of God. Only that can change the fate, the course of events. And what is more, it not only brings about the transformation outside in the events, it gives us inner transformation as well. It takes us closer to God. She began to feel that Bhagwan was her own father. She called him Appa. Sri Venugopal of Tiruvannamalai ran into her in the ashram, and to him she reported. She said, Appa is everything for me. I keep chanting his name. Appa is doing everything for me in my life. He is my Appa. She felt so close to him that Bhagwan became her father. So you see how it draws us closer to God. He became a relative, a close relative. That is the journey of love. In love, in the beginning, you feel like a servant. And as you get closer and climb up the ladder of love, you begin to feel so close to God that God becomes either your father or a lover or your child. These are all different bhavas in the ladder of bhakti. And finally, you become one with him. That there's no difference between you and him anymore. So these incidents, one after the other, point out how Nama brings about both the inner and outer transformations in life. Otherwise, it is fate all through. Nothing can change the course of events. Remember, everybody's life is a finished movie. If you want to bring about a change, like I said, you want to change the dialogue of your hero by just pointing out to the screen, nothing can happen. But if you tell the director, sir, your movie is like this particular part is not in tune with the rest, why don't you change? He may listen to you and change, or he may not listen to you. But it's worth appealing. Whereas here, when you cry out from the depths of your heart, it is unfailing grace. God listens and does the needful. So you see this Bhagwan, whose name has touched magically the lives of thousands of people. Thousands of people are getting transformed, getting closer to God. He is here right in front of us, all the time standing and blessing people. There's a constant flow of grace from his hand, and there is a very compassionate smile on his lips. Those who come to the ashram will not go back empty-handed. My Father's blessings are pouring on them. Whether they are aware of it or not, it is the truth. It is Satyam. This is what Bhagwan said again and again. Just by coming inside and going out, you carry a huge bag of blessings on your back. And they'll come a long way with you. Despite the present day situation, the prevailing situation today in the world, you see how Tamil Nadu, India in general, is getting a relief from this coronavirus. Our prayers have not gone waste. Bhagwan is listening to our prayers every day, day after day. Now nearly 10 months have passed. And it's a collective karma of the whole world. the way people had been living before the situation, the world probably invited the present situation. The only relief is our turning to God. It is proved once again and again, army is no strength, money is no strength, science and technology, no strength. It is only resorting to the grace of God. So let us submit our prayers. Bhagwan, we beseech you again and again for your immediate divine intervention to free the entire world from the clutches of this virus, this tiny virus which could not even be seen, and bring back a dharmic normalcy in every aspect of life, everywhere in the world, in every country. And Bhagwan, kindly remove, kindly uproot the panic from the hearts of people and arrest the spread of the disease. Enter the vaccine. The drive is on, but only you can make the medicine work and kill this virus once for all. And all those sevaks who are in the field fighting the disease, laboring hard day and night, please give them protection. And of course, the economy. Only you can give a boost to the economy and support all the measures towards its improvement. Above all, we again and again pray to you for constant remembrance of your name. You have said, remembering God, remembrance of God is the only goal of life, no matter where you live, in which country, and in which walk of life. God is the only goal of life, for which sake this body is given to you, and this life is given to you. The design of your very life, the design of your body, the design of the setting, your parents, your identity, everything is to give you a push towards God. Every event of your life is so designed to give you a push towards God. If you do not learn it the soft way, the world would teach us the hard way. You will be pushed into a situation where you feel utter helplessness, that finally you have to turn to God. So even while everything is going on well, let us turn to God and pray to Him for constant remembrance of His name, and to go about our life and its duties with the attitude of being an instrument in His hands. Let's pray that we should be good and fine instruments in His hands, and let us always be thankful to Him for every blessing that we get in life. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.